Look, I need to get something off my chest about engagement rings and what women actually deserve after investing years of their lives in relationships. If you're enjoying these real life stories, hit that like button and subscribe. I've got plenty more where this came from. Trust me, this one's going to blow your mind. So there I was, 27 years old, sitting at this upscale Italian place downtown with my boyfriend August and my girls, Brittany and Ashley. We'd been together 4 years, and I was getting tired of waiting for him to step up. The wine was flowing, everyone was in a good mood, and somehow we got on the topic of engagement rings and breakups. Brittany starts telling us about her ex, how he had the audacity to demand the ring back when they split. "Can you believe that?" she says, rolling her eyes. Like I hadn't earned it after 2 years of putting up with his crap. That's when it hit me. This whole conversation was the perfect opportunity to set some boundaries with August before he proposed. I looked directly at him across the table and said, "That's exactly why you establish ownership early. When you propose to me, dear," and I made sure to emphasize when, not if, I'm making it crystal clear that the ring is mine no matter what happens. I've earned it after 4 years. The table went quiet. Ashley nearly choked on her wine, and Brittany looked like she wanted to crawl under the table. But I wasn't backing down. This needed to be said. "What?" I continued, feeling the liquid courage kick in. "It's true. 4 years of my 20s dealing with his gaming addiction, his weird family dynamics, his snoring that keeps me up half the night. That ring is compensation, minimum compensation for dating me, actually." Ashley tried to laugh it off nervously. "Jess, that's kind of harsh." "It's realistic," I shot back. "Men need to understand that our time has value. If we break up, I keep the ring. Period. Non-negotiable." I expected August to argue, maybe get defensive like he usually does when I call out his flaws. Instead, he just smiled and said, "That's only fair." I was shocked but pleased. Finally, he was learning. Finally, he understood that I wasn't just some girlfriend he could string along indefinitely. I had value, and that value came with a price tag. The rest of dinner was awkward as hell, but I didn't care. I'd made my point, and August had agreed. That night, I felt like I'd finally taken control of our relationship. What I didn't know was that August had taken control too, just not in the way I expected. 2 weeks later, he proposed at my favorite restaurant, Rosario's, where we'd had our first date. He'd gone all out, hired a photographer, invited my parents and sister. Even had the staff clear out the back section so it would be private but still public enough for everyone to see. When he got down on one knee and opened that little velvet box, I literally screamed. The ring was perfect, absolutely perfect. Round cut, probably a carat and a half set in white gold with tiny diamonds along the band. It caught the light from every angle and sparkled like something out of a movie. I grabbed it before August could even finish his speech and slipped it on my finger. Oh my God, yes, obviously yes. I was already pulling out my phone to take pictures. The photographer was snapping away, my mom was crying, and I was in heaven. Within minutes, I had it posted on Instagram. He finally did it. "Look at this rock. Hajar engaged. Blessed. Finally, thou learned." The likes started pouring in immediately. My coworkers, college friends, even people I barely talked to were commenting. With fire emojis and congratulations. My mom pulled August aside while I was showing off the ring to other diners. "That must have cost a fortune, sweetheart," she said, squeezing his arm. "It's an investment in our future," August replied, which I thought was the sweetest thing he'd ever said. The next few weeks were a blur of ring appreciation posts and wedding planning. I joined 3 different Facebook groups for brides with significant rings. You had to submit proof that your ring was worth over $10,000 to get in. I posted weekly close-ups of my hand with different nail colors, different angles, different lighting. The engagement photos went viral in our friend group. Every girls' night became a ring examination session. I'd make everyone hold it, feel the weight of it, check out the clarity. This is what happens when you train your man properly. I'd tell them, watching their jealous faces. August knows quality. But wedding planning was where things got interesting. I wanted our wedding to match the ring. Elegant, expensive, unforgettable. I found the perfect venue, a historic mansion that charged $15,000 just for the space. The dress I wanted was $4,000. Flowers, photographer, catering. It all added up to about $60,000. When I showed August my spreadsheet, his face went pale. Destiny, that's 4 times what we discussed. That's what credit cards are for, I said, not understanding why he was being so cheap all of a sudden. We're not starting our marriage looking broke. Everyone who saw that ring is going to expect a wedding that matches. We're not going into debt for one day, he said firmly. 15,000 max, that's already stretching it. I stared at him like he'd grown a second head. Then maybe you should have thought about that before buying such an expensive ring. Now everyone expects a wedding to match, and I'm not disappointing people. That's when I decided August needed some serious training before we got married. I created what I called our pre-marriage preparation sessions. Weekly conversations where we'd discuss important topics like why my career would take priority once we were married. I worked part-time at a boutique, but it was fashion, which was obviously more important than his boring tech job. How he needed to manage his gaming time better. 3 hours a week was still too much, and appropriate gift-giving schedules. Birthdays are minimum 500, I explained during one session. Anniversaries are 1,000. Christmas depends on what I've bought you, but never less than what you spent on my ring. August just nodded along, which I took as agreement. Looking back, I should have paid more attention to how quiet he'd gotten lately. The ring obsession was real, though. I couldn't stop looking at it, taking pictures of it, showing it off. At work, I'd make sure to gesture dramatically whenever customers were around so they'd notice it and ask, "Oh, this old thing," I'd say with fake modesty. My fiancé knows how to treat a woman. I even started calculating other people's ring budgets based on their boyfriends' salaries. During one girls' night, I made everyone figure out what their guys should be spending according to the 3-month salary rule. Brittany got uncomfortable and texted me later asking if I was okay, but I thought she was just jealous. 3 months into wedding planning, I decided to get the ring insured. I mean, it was clearly worth a fortune, and I wasn't taking any chances. I made an appointment at a jewelry store across town without telling August. I wanted it to be a surprise proof that I was being responsible with his investment. I was at work reorganizing the summer collection when my phone rang. Unknown number, but I answered anyway. "Is this Destiny Martinez?" The voice sounded professional serious. "Yes, this is she." "This is David from Premier Jewelry Appraisals. You brought in a ring for insurance evaluation this morning." "Right, yes. Is the paperwork ready?" There was a long pause. "Ma'am, I'm afraid there's an issue. The ring you brought in, it's not what you think it is." My stomach dropped. "What do you mean?" "The stone is cubic zirconia. It's a very good fake, but it's definitely not a diamond. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this." The phone slipped from my hand and clattered to the floor. My coworker Sarah rushed over, asking if I was okay, but I couldn't speak. I picked up the phone with shaking hands. "That's impossible," I whispered. "My fiancé bought this ring. It's real. It has to be real. I understand this is shocking, but I've been doing this for 20 years, I'm certain." I hung up and immediately called August, tears already streaming down my face. "Something's wrong with my ring," I sobbed when he answered. "This jeweler says it's fake. He's lying, right? He has to be lying." "Babe, calm down," August said, his voice steady. "There must be some mistake. Let me call Rick, the jeweler, where I bought it. He'll sort this out." "I need you to come here right now with the receipt," I demanded. "I'm in a meeting. Let me handle Rick first, then I'll meet you there." An hour later, we were standing in Rick's shop, the original jeweler. I was still crying, mascara running down my cheeks, clutching the ring box like my life depended on it. Rick was this older guy with kind eyes who'd apparently helped August pick out the ring. "Rick, please," I begged, practically throwing the ring at him. "This other jeweler says this is fake. Tell him he's wrong." Rick examined the ring carefully with his jeweler's loupe, taking what felt like forever. The silence was killing me. Finally, he looked up with a sympathetic expression. "Ma'am, I'm afraid the other jeweler is correct. This is indeed cubic zirconia." "But August bought this here," I screamed. "You sold it to him." Rick looked at August, then back at me. "I remember Mr. August very well. He did purchase a ring here." See, I turned to August triumphantly. However, Rick continued, let me check our records to be certain. He pulled out a thick receipt book and flipped through several pages. Yes, here we are. Mr. August purchased a cubic zirconia ring. $800. Says so right here on the receipt. The world stopped spinning. $800, cubic zirconia. The room felt like it was tilting sideways. What, Mai? I turned to August, who looked just as shocked as I felt. No, that can't be right. You saved for months. You told me it was an investment. I don't understand, August stammered. There has to be an explanation. But I was already storming out of the shop, my entire world crashing down around me. 4 years of my life, and he gives me costume jewelry. $800. I spent more than that on shoes. That night was nuclear. I threw everything I could get my hands on. Pillows, books, the stupid engagement photos. 4 years, I screamed at August. 4 years, and you give me a fake ring. You're pathetic, you're a fraud. A cheapskate who thinks I'm worth $800. Destiny, there has to be an explanation, August kept saying, but I was done listening. Bahiham. I threw some clothes in a bag and went to my parents' house. On the drive over, I posted on Facebook, taking some time to reconsider everything after a shocking betrayal. Sometimes you don't really know someone after 4 years. The comments exploded. My friends and family tore August apart. What did he do? You deserve so much better. Always knew something was off about him. My phone blew up with messages calling him trash, a loser, a fraud. But then Brittany posted a screenshot in the comments. It was from my Instagram 3 months ago. My post about establishing ownership and the ring being compensation for 4 years. Her caption read, maybe this explains the $800 ring. The tide turned instantly. People started defending August instead. Someone commented that demanding an expensive ring as compensation was basically prostitution with extra steps. Another person said, I got exactly what I deserved for treating our relationship like a business transaction. I called Brittany, screaming about her betrayal, about how she turned my friends against me. But the damage was done. The truth was out there for everyone to see. 2 days later, I swallowed my pride and went back home. I had to fix this somehow. When August opened the door, I put on my sweetest smile. I overreacted, I said quietly. The ring doesn't matter. I love you, not your money. We can get married with pipe cleaner rings for all I care. I just want to be your wife. August's face softened. That's beautiful destiny. I love you too. So, I smiled sweetly. When are we getting the real ring? His expression changed immediately. What real ring? Come on, stop playing games. I know you have the real one hidden somewhere. This was a test right to see if I loved you for you. There's no other ring, Destiny. The sweet facade cracked. Don't lie to me. Nobody saves for months for an $800 ring. I did. Bull. You could take out a loan. My dad knows a guy who does jewelry financing. No. The mask dropped completely. Then I want to see your bank statements. Prove you don't have the money. Absolutely not. Partners don't have secrets. Partners don't demand compensation for dating. I stood up so fast I knocked over my coffee mug, sending brown liquid across his white carpet. I'm done with this humiliation. Either you get me a proper ring or we're over. Okay, August said simply. I blinked. Okay, what? Okay, we're over. You can keep the CZ ring, though, as compensation for 4 years. I couldn't believe he was calling my bluff. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. He was supposed to cave like he always did. He was supposed to apologize and promise to do better. But August wasn't backing down this time, and that's when everything really went to hell. I didn't take the breakup well. First, I tried to return the cubic zirconia ring to Rick's store, bringing my mom and sister as witnesses. I even filmed the whole thing for evidence. I demand a refund for this fake ring, I announced loudly, making sure other customers could hear. Rick pulled out his records calmly. Ma'am, you're not the purchaser. Only Mr. August can return it. It's my ring. He gave it to me. Then it's a gift. We don't refund gifts. This is fraud. No, ma'am. Fraud would be if we sold a cubic zirconia as a diamond. We sold a cubic zirconia as a cubic zirconia. Would you like to see the receipt again? I posted the video anyway, editing out Rick's responses to make it look like he was scamming me, but people who knew Rick commented with the truth and my credibility took another hit. Then I filed a lawsuit. $25,000, $12,000 for the promised ring value, $8,000 for emotional distress, and $5,000 for wedding preparation costs. I was going to make August pay for humiliating me. But that wasn't enough. I started showing up at his office, telling anyone who'd listen that he'd financially abused me. Security escorted me out twice. I called his mom crying, saying I just wanted closure, but she told me to pound sand. Then I got creative. I sent him a text with an ultrasound photo I found on Google. Guess you'll have to marry me now. His response came back within an hour, a screenshot of the reverse image search results showing where I'd stolen the photo. That was a test, I texted back. You failed. A real man would have stepped up. I even created fake dating profiles using model photos and tried to catfish him into saying something incriminating. But August worked in IT. He traced the fake profiles back to my IP address in minutes and sent everything to his lawyer. Court day was my chance to finally get justice. I showed up in the white wedding dress I'd bought for our engagement photos, with my mom and sister flanking me like bridesmaids. If the judge could see what August had stolen from me, surely she'd understand. But it backfired spectacularly. The judge took one look at my outfit, and I could see her trying not to roll her eyes. August's lawyer presented everything. My social media posts about compensation, my husband training documents, evidence of stalking and harassment, the fake pregnancy attempt, the catfishing scheme. Miss Martinez, did you create these fake profiles? The judge asked. I was investigating, I said defensively. Yes or no? Yes. Did you claim to be pregnant when you weren't? I was testing him. Yes or no? Were you pregnant? No, I wasn't pregnant. The judge looked at my lawyer like she couldn't believe this was real. The case was dismissed with prejudice. I had to pay August's legal fees, $3,500 I didn't have. Worse, I got a restraining order for harassment and stalking. As we left the courthouse, my mom confronted August in the parking lot. How can you humiliate her like this? She loved you. She loved what she thought I could buy her, August replied calmly. She deserved better. You're right, she deserved someone who'd actually fall for her manipulation. And my sister jumped in. You're going to die alone. Good how. Rather die alone than live with someone who sees me as an ATM. I just stared at him, this man I'd spent 4 years with, and felt something shift inside me. Not regret, anger, pure burning anger at how he'd outsmarted me. But I wasn't done yet. A week after court, I posted an Instagram story. When God closes a door, he opens a window with a photo of me wearing a massive 3-carat ring I'd stolen from Rick's display case. The caption read, "Upgraded to a man who knows my worth." The comments were brutal, people calling it fake, cloudy, a cheap knockoff. But one comment made my blood freeze. Congratulations on the upgrade. Interesting that it looks exactly like the Moussit display model that went missing from our shop last week. Already filed the police report. Rick. I deleted the post immediately, but screenshots were everywhere. Then I made my final mistake. I texted August from a new number. I know you have the real diamond. I hired a PI. He saw you at the gym that day. Give me my ring or I'm going to the police. August forwarded it straight to his lawyer, who sent it to the police handling Rick's theft case. Turns out my cousin, who I'd hired as a private investigator, had followed August to his gym and seen him access a locker. We assumed he was hiding cash or the real ring. When we broke in, there was nothing but gym clothes and a note that said, "Nice try." But desperate to prove August had expensive jewelry hidden somewhere, I'd grabbed the moisite ring from Rick's shop as evidence. I'd literally committed theft, trying to prove he'd stolen from me. The police arrested me at work 2 days later, right in front of customers at the boutique. The humiliation was complete. Rick offered to drop charges if I returned the ring and paid his legal fees, so I had to take out a loan I couldn't afford. That night, I sent August a 6-paragraph text apologizing for everything, claiming I'd changed, and was in therapy begging for another chance. His response was one word: no. 3 minutes later, I texted back, "I know where you keep the diamond. I'll go to the cops." So much for being changed. 18 months later, I found out through mutual friends that August had sold the real diamond, because of course there had been a real diamond all along. He'd used the money for a solo vacation to Europe, posting photos of himself looking genuinely happy and relaxed for the first time in years. I created another fake profile to message him, "Living your best life with my money, I see." He screenshotted and reported the restraining order violation. I got 30 days in jail, reduced to community service because it was my first offense. My community service working at a senior center teaching jewelry making classes. The instructor was Rick's wife, who made sure to tell the story of an entitled girl who thought she deserved expensive rings as compensation to every single class. Meanwhile, August had moved on completely. He'd paid his brother back the loan, money put the rest in savings, and when someone asked if he regretted not giving me the real ring, he said that $12,000 diamond taught him an $800 lesson about believing people when they show you who they are. I am left with nothing but debt, a criminal record, and the bitter knowledge that I played myself. Fine, maybe I shouldn't have demanded compensation for dating him. Maybe I shouldn't have treated our relationship like a business transaction. But he still should have given me what I deserved after 4 years. That's what any decent man would have done. Instead, I got exactly what I asked for, and it destroyed everything.